But before that,
Aha.
really quick, I want to
Yeah.
introduce our guest today. My name is Woof, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. My guest today, besides Billi, who you all know, is Pedro Henriquez de Silva. He's a Portuguese composer, multi-instrumentalist, professor, and lecturer in various fields of music, art, and sciences. This song will sound great with the headphones on, so I'd recommend strongly put some headphones on.
Headphones?
Yeah, what
And closed
when we listen.
captions, right?
Oh yeah, and make sure the closed captions are on. It's mostly in Punjabi language. The artists are Ali Sethi, who's a classically trained artist, and a woman named Shae Gill.
Yes. So thank you for having me. Very excited.
Yeah. All right. So without further ado, I'm gonna do a countdown. When I say go, we'll press play, okay? So you ready?
Sounds good. Yep.
3, 2, 1, play.
Coke Studio, Season 14.
ਅਗਲਾਵਾਂ ਮਜਬੂਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਆਣ ਜਾਣ ਦੀ ਪਸੂੜੀ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਹਿਰ ਬਣੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇਰੀ ਪੀ ਜਾਵਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਪੂਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਆਣਾ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਇਆ ਦਿਲ ਬਾਗ ਬਾਗ ਮੇਰਾ ਟਕਰਾਇਆ ਕਾਗਾ ਬੋਲ ਕੇ ਦੱਸ ਜਾਵੇ ਪਾਵਾਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਦੀ ਚੂਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਰਾਵਾਂ ਚ ਬਾਵਾਂ ਚ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਲੁਕਾਵਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਰੋਕੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਢੋਲ ਜੁਦਾਈਆਂ ਦੀ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਖਬਰ ਕਿਵੇਂ साथ तेरा है बतेरा पूरा कर जरूरी नू आन सी ओ नहीं आया रास्ता ना दिखलाया दिल हमारा ते सहारा ख्वाहिशात अधूरी नू सारी मैं जावा मैं तेनू बुलावा गल सारी ता होवे मेरे ढोल जुदाइयां दी तेनू खबर किवें होवे आ जावे दिल तेरा पूरा भी ना ते पसूड़ी नू जहर बने हाँ तेरी पी जावा मैं पूरी नू रावां च बावां च ओनू लुकावां कोई मैनू ना रोके मेरे ढोल जुदाइयां दी तन्नू खबर किवें होवे आ जाए दिल तेरा पूरा भी ना होवे हाँ बड़ियां बड़ाइयां दी गलबात किवें होवे आ जाए दिल तेरा पूरा भी ना होवे पूरा भी ना होवे पूरा भी ना होवे
All right. That was really cool.
As of right now, 725 million views.
Not bad.
The most heard song of 2022, most searched song of 2022. Insane, insane. This
That's
is
huge.
so the guy, Ali Sethi, is a classically trained singer in quite a few arts, classical South Asian arts, musical traditions specifically. And the woman, the young woman, first song ever, just randomly plucked off Instagram. A very melodious sounding Dua Lipa, if you would. Yeah. Yeah.
She's amazing. She's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could tell. I thought first it was an act, you know, sort of playing coy. But I kind of, now that you said it, I can kind of tell there was a little bit of shyness with the camera, as if, you know, she isn't really used to like sets and things like that. But the tone of her voice, I absolutely love, you know, very powerful, but also super soothing, particularly for the I don't know, the lyrics of the song, you know?
Not the octave. I'm used to listening on a female vocal, you know? It's the opposite of this song. The other guy is like higher pitched, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, she has a beautiful tone. She sings beautifully. And yeah, I agree with you, Billi. You can tell the little bit of shyness, coyness. You're not really sure what it is. It's probably because it's the first time. But it works. It works actually with the song and the video. Really well produced, everything. Just really top notch.
Sung live. All of this is live. They all the musicians, every single there's a behind the scenes video of this thing which is incredible. Billi and I are gonna watch that eventually, but you're more than welcome to join. Those are also like 2-3 minute little epics, and they show you everything start to finish, and it's really incredible.
That's very impressive.
How about those instruments? What do you think?
Well, they have a mandolin that looks very much like this one.
Yeah.
And it sounds really cool. They have an instrument. I know a lot of the instruments of the Indian subcontinent. In fact, I have a sitar here, but one of them looked more like a setar from Persia, but it had more strings than a setar, which means 3 strings.
Interesting.
In Persian, in Farsi.
Yeah.
And it had a similar sound as well, but it could be similar. Actually, it's looked more like a tambura from Turkey, or ballama. There's 2 names for it. I'm curious to know what instruments there were exactly there.
I also am curious because I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot for that input, Pedro. Now we have more questions.
Yeah, the expert in plucked stringed instruments.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I'll look it up. Actually, it might be in the behind the scenes video. They might actually explain it, but yeah.
Could be, yeah.
Let
me see if it's in the description of the video, actually.
You know, I'm wondering randomly, he actually, the guy, Ali Sethi, he might be in our circles. I know Pedro from New York, artist circles, and Ali was actually in my circles before he was super famous. And I'm wondering if he's in yours too. I think he knows Sarah, which is our mutual connection, I think.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm reading here the list of people who played it. It's a ballama from Turkey.
Okay.
It's spelled with a G, but I think the G is silent if I remember my Turkish pronunciation.
All right. Take your word for it.
So it's a Turkish instrument. I was like, wait, why would a Turkish instrument be in a Pakistani song.
Well, that's the thing, the whole thing to me, and you guys tell me, but it sounds to me that took like reggaeton beat
Uh-huh.
with Mediterranean instruments
Yeah,
and
with a
sang it with some
mandolin.
very
Yeah.
Punjabi sort of like Punjabi language, which is a different language than I
Yes.
speak. Just sort of infused it all together, and it sounds like. And then there's art, there's layers of art there. The whole set is actually like designed in a way that old houses opened up. It was like a
Yeah.
communal space that's what it used to look like. All these old houses back in the day in Lahore and Punjab. So they've kind of like took all that and kind of crammed it into one. It seems to work to me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're not even mentioning the synths and the Western instruments because they pervade this kind of popular music from the Indian subcontinents like Bollywood style, etc. But it's a mix of cultures, and it's really cool.
Hey, Billy.
Yeah, I remember that's what through our conversations throughout time, Ali, we've talked about sort of Pakistani and how even the language, it's sort of a mix of a lot of different languages that have come from different places. So I imagine the like musical history, like as far as instrumentation is concerned, would follow that similar path. And then, they're different cultures, they're different communities, but they're all situated on sort of the same continent. And so we can see um, how these instruments and these sounds would move through time. I also want to mention that it's so interesting how we see hip hop in here, right? There are some samples in there. I heard the samples in there. I heard them towards the end. But
Interesting.
In the beginning as well,
I always want to
right?
point that out. Yeah.
Well, go
Yeah.
on. Now I'm curious. Pique my curiosity.
With what?
Where exactly did you see, like, what, or did you recognize any of the samples?
I didn't recognize the sample. It was like a, and
Right.
towards the end, it was sort of because the other singers were singing and all of these other things were happening. And the pace of the video for me was kind of quick. They were like going back and forth between the instrumentalists and then the both of the singers separately and both of the singers together. And towards the end, when the singing sort of was dying down, I heard that.
Did you catch any of the lyrics?
Yeah, super intense for me. Like it talks about the complexity and the intensity and the passion of love, right? But you have these two singers whose tones are just super soothing, especially the woman. And I'm just like the juxtaposition of like the lyrics and then the sound and how they're singing these songs, like very easy, very easeful, it seemed, was just super interesting to me. And even though there was a lot of movement for me with the camera, the setting of the video was just like super chill, like it was interesting contrast for me.
No.
Yeah.
What stood out to me, and I've watched it 8 trillion times, the video, because of my son initially. Toddler just loved it.
You made that video the most
Yeah.
video.
700
How many
million
millions of
views.
views?
Yeah, a quarter billion are mine. It's interesting to me, sort of having looked at the lyrics, and I understand Punjabi a little bit. It's love songs between two lovers without specifying gender. And a lot of the dances these are all organic, like real dances they've picked from the region, and they're very queer, like centric dances. So like that is such an interesting thing to me, and to put it on such a platform. This is like the most watched program in the country too, right? And people sort of ate it up. They know the histories. They know, this is all real history of music and art. That's the one thing people really do appreciate in that country. That's one thing, no matter who you are, whether it's queer, and half the artists are queer, I'm sure. And so is the poetry. So to me, it was really interesting. Really like all the dancers there, super, almost effeminate. I'm sorry, this is maybe not the best vernacular to use. I'm not a professor. I don't teach. But like, it looked very feminine. The dances and they're beautiful dances, and the woman dancing in the background, and the lyrics, they were sort of done purposefully, and I thought that was just beautiful. And obviously, cinematography of it all.
Well, that is something that caught my attention. The cross generational, and they made a point of showing that older lady who is so beautiful and that's so elegantly,
Yeah,
and that was
yeah.
really cool. That was great to see that.
Yeah, I totally agree that that hit me a lot during watching the video, this sort of intergenerational piece, and also perhaps this woman being part of the story. Maybe she's the woman um, of the couple and she's still around, you know. For me, I sort of weave that woman into the story of the lyrics. Even though
Yeah.
they were sort of genderless and all of that, I just thought that was just really beautiful.
Another interesting thing. Sorry, is there anything else you want to add? Sorry to cut you off there, Pedro.
No, no.
I was reading about this woman that was dancing in the background. She has an interesting. She's a feminist icon apparently from the 80s. She kept her sort of classical dance studio and alive during like the U.S. backed sort of like the dictatorship in the 80s. General
Gotcha.
Zia Huq.
Yeah,
She was
I could tell that she was a star.
Yeah,
because she moved like a star.
She had that grace and she had that confidence about her, and I can see why.
The charisma, definitely.
Oh, for sure. Truly,
especially in contrast to the young woman that was singing, where I think she looked at the camera once and then she like clicked on.
That's amazing that you caught on to that. That's amazing. Yeah. But yeah, I read about her. She was just on Instagram and people, she's an Instagram star.
Get it?
That's really cool.
And then now she's like a bona fide superstar. She's touring countries. I think she was South America at one point and North America. Crazy. People in Africa, really East Africa love her. And it's insane to just, it's insane. Most of the audience for this stuff initially, actually, when the season is ongoing, most of the audience is Indian. They eat it up because this particular song, especially it's Punjabi culture. They sort of capitalized on that in this particular song, but Punjabi culture is spread among both countries, India and Pakistan. But this Punjabi culture is not Bollyfied. I don't know how to say that, but the Indian Punjabi culture has been very mainstream and sort of kind of it's shiny and it's now rings hollow. So people look for music across the border, ironically. So these people, I don't speak Punjabi, but these people, I've been told these people are speaking proper Punjabi and singing like they're supposed to, not in a brash way that is Punjabi music has been sung in Bollywood now. So it's like they're going back to the roots. That's literally the whole point of the program and the artists there. That's what they do. That's all they do. So there's that perspective too. But yeah,
when I went to India, they told me that Punjabi people were like the Italians of India, like party people. They speak a little bit louder. They're like very family oriented. Is that true?
Well, I don't want to offend people of Punjabi origin. I'm not Punjabi, and we have a history in Pakistan. But they certainly, the language itself is, when you speak it, you can tell they're loud, especially in Pakistan. Especially people who don't speak Punjabi. Sometimes when they're cursing, they'll switch to Punjabi just to curse because it's just like, it's you have to open your mouth. Just gotta,
Well, it's like the Italians when you do this.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah. So
you can be even more expressive.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. I don't know. I have no idea. That's just what people told me in India.
I don't want to stereotype people, but it's certainly the language of choice when it comes for choice words. Just put it that way. Yeah. And you can tell. Cool. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, the Punjabi culture is it's about celebration. They're very agricultural folk, historically speaking.
Yeah.
And
a lot of wrestlers from Punjabi culture too, I hear.
Yeah. Punjab means 5 rivers. Those rivers are mostly present in Pakistan, and they've been historically, and I think the Indus Valley civilization ran through those rivers. So they have quite a bit of a history, and music, Punjabi music specifically, a lot of it comes from the festivals when they would reap the harvest festivals, from when they had to harvest all the crops because it was so bountiful over the years. Yeah.
Cool.
There's been records of Alexander liking Punjabi music. Alexander the Great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He came all the way to there. He got his ass handed to him over there, but they had to turn back. But yeah, yeah.
But he
Good
liked
job.
the music.
I love the
Anyway.
music.
Yeah, fabulous. Well, that's all I got at the moment. I mean, we can go on and on and on, but I don't want to take up too much of Pedro's time. I know he just came back from Argentina.
Yes.
He was yawning when I was talking to him. I was like, yeah, this guy's really excited.
Well, I slept 3 hours last night. I'm deadlines for submitting my new album, which is coming out on August 30th.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Billy's working
And you
on
need to
something too.
Oh yeah?
Always
What are you
working.
working on?
I'm a vocalist and an MC. I also DJ and produce beats, but this project I'm working on is sort of a follow-up of something I released in 2022. Just a vocals, R&B. I'm working with a producer out of Detroit. So I'm like
Cool.
70% done. I hope to be where you are
Congrats.
very soon.
That's awesome. You know that most people don't know this. Ali, I'm sure you don't know this. My beginning in music was with hip hop.
No
I had
I
no
way.
idea.
love hip hop, and it's a huge part of my life. And people don't know because I'm a classical musician. I play a lot of world instruments, as you can tell. But it started with hip hop. It started with Golden Age hip hop, with De La Soul, A Tribe Called Quest,
Of course.
Jungle Brothers, also Public Enemy, and others. But the entire Native Tongues tribe with Queen Latifah and Busta Rhymes. Well, he was Native Tongues
Yeah,
adjacent.
yeah.
That was what was really close to my heart, and I just love that stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Everybody, all rivers lead to certain things. And it's funny because I discovered hip hop in high school and then I moved to Chicago to go to university. And I didn't do a lot of hip hop vocals then, but I did do world music. I was in like a ska reggae world
Oh,
music band, right? And so each of these styles sort of informs the other, right? And for me, hip hop
right.
is global. Hip hop is stands on the stage with world music. So
Absolutely.
I didn't know, I'm not surprised, and it makes me really happy, that all three of us
So,
have this in
and
common.
you see, and I was doing, I had a hip hop duet with my best friend we were living in Canada. He was Romanian and I'm Portuguese, as you know. And we were doing hip hop because we just loved it. And I got this little Casio keyboard that had 4 samples, but they were too short to make an entire beat. So I had to actually manually play
Oh man.
the kick drum twice for the funky drummer beat. I had to go
Yeah.
boom boom tak 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 boom boom tak tak.
Oh,
That's how I did it.
the beginning finger drumming. It's interesting. I site managed a hip hop arts residency in Romania in 2022, and it just blew my mind. I always get assigned to these like strange places, but hip hop lives there. So when you said that your hip hop partner was Romanian, I'm like, okay, like I have a context of the history there of hip hop and how rich it is and how it sort of is sort of aligned in a lot of ways, especially in terms of resistance with the Roma culture there.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah,
Billy
that's a big thing.
she takes cultural hip hop and does exchanges overseas everywhere in the world. She's an amazing person. She takes crews there, on a cultural hip hop
Cool.
exchange. It's amazing.
Well,
I
I
can't
need to listen to
can't.
your stuff.
Yeah, I'll connect you guys definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
absolutely.
sure. I can't claim to be anything hip hop except that I was thrust into hip hop culture when I moved to Houston as a complete fob. from Pakistan. I moved to southern Houston for whatever reason. My folks chose to move there, which is the home of like all these like artists that have come out: Beyonce, Lizzo,
Yeah.
Paul Wall,
UGK.
UGK, The Undertaker for some fucking reason. But he's not an artist. But like all these like
Yeah, not music.
yeah, all these like random artists like, and I mean that's the type of hip hop they would always listen to over there. It got famous later on.
Yeah.
But and I was like, yeah, this is interesting. And that's all I knew until I like went to college and I was like, oh, there's other types of music out there. But
Yeah,
that's my beginning of hip hop. Went to all
that's
these
awesome.
guys'
Yeah,
shows.
I actually just wrote and produced music for a film where we tried several different styles of music, but in the end, hip hop was the one that just really worked. So yeah, I'm still producing hip hop. I'm still doing it.
You're still. I'm just kidding.
Yes. Well, not with the Casio and not not with that.
A bit more refined now.
Yes. Although samples are so cool that just, when you get your hands on a really cool sample, there's nothing better. And for me, a golden age hip hop with the samples, that's what I love the most.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a crazy story too, Ali. Like Houston, I mean, the South period, as far as hip hop is concerned, it took a long time, right? Outkast, of course, sort of brought it out on the scene, but even before then, another rich history, right? And another like nobody knew, nobody knew there was Black Cowboys in Houston, right? Nobody knew there was hip
Yes.
hop in Houston. Nobody knew like all of these like very cool things that come out of the South in Houston. So for you to be like on the ground as these things were like emerging and bubbling up, is just really interesting. And for me, it makes sense that you when we went to Mongolia, that you sort of had an understanding, right? Because Mongolian hip hop is also one of those things that people don't know much about.
Billi and I met in
Yeah.
Mongolia, out of all places. Forgot to mention Megan Thee Stallion and Mike Jones also.
Of course.
Everybody here is from
Well-
A-Leaf, specifically Southern Houston. A-Leaf is the town we were all from. It's the neighborhood. I'm one of those people.
And I loved seeing The Harder They Fall because, there's a whole history of Black cowboys that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's really, really fascinating. So
Yeah.
I love that. I saw the premiere at the London Film Festival, so that was really special.
Yeah, that was an amazing film. Oh, I really enjoyed that film.
No, I'm getting
Yeah,
FOMO.
Beyonce and Jay-Z were at the premiere, but I didn't come anywhere close to them.
I can introduce you if you want, not really.
Oh.
No.
The Houston connection.
I have a Beyonce story. I was working at a Best Buy and I was in charge of selling
Widgets.
no, not widgets. It's like dryers, right? So I was cleaning one of the dryers and I bumped into somebody and I turned around. There's a woman there, kind of short, with a local camera crew and two kids, and she was helping them like shop for Christmas. She was a very unknown artist, but she was just like a local celebrity. And it turns out that was Beyonce. She only had two kids that she was sort of like taking around Best Buy so she could get them Christmas shopping done. And it was like a local TV. It was like one cameraman, went out with her. That was it. She was by
Wow.
herself. Yeah.
Those days
Beyonce
are
out in the
over.
wild. Hi, Beyonce,
Yeah.
if you're watching. I know you remember.
Come on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, right on.
I love Beyonce, actually.
Yeah.
She's the one I always go back to. I love her.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
She's
done a
my
few
favorite
things.
of the. Yeah, she's done a few, and now she's like going to country, and I love it. It's great.
Yeah, that's amazing. With that being said, my free trial of Zoom is ending my call in about 5 minutes. So I just want to thank once again Pedro and Billi, as usual. Thank you so much for lending your time, your valuable time, discussing culture from around the world and sharing your
Thank you.
knowledge. Yeah. All right. Well, until the next time,